But she was telling me the story of this lady. She was married to this guy, and this guy was kind of grumpy, and he came up with a list of chores that he wanted his wife to do every single day.
Mhm.
And it was a checklist, and she had to do all those chores or he would get really angry. And she would have to go through the checklist every single day and check off each and every item,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So because she had to, she would, she was married to him and he would get angry, and she would go through and do all the items and mark off everything every day for 30 years.
Oh.
Yeah. And finally her husband dies.
Mhm.
I said finally, but that sounds really bad.
I mean, the way that you're setting it up, it's like it's not like this was, it
Not the
makes
greatest
sense,
relationship,
Yeah,
right?
not the greatest.
Anyway,
Yeah.
her husband has some complications, right? And he ends up
Finally,
passing away,
finally dying. Mhm.
unfortunately.
Well, we'll see how the
And
story ends if it was unfortunate.
yeah. Anyway, she ends up finding another man, getting remarried, and having a really good marriage, and he's got no checklist.
Mm.
And they've been married for a few years now, and she opens one of her old drawers and finds one of her old checklists. And she's looking at all the stuff on the checklist, and she had this realization that she still does all the things on the checklist,
Mhm.
but she doesn't do them because she has
Mm.
to. She does it now because she loves her husband so much
Sure.
that to show him that she loves him, she goes and does all the things on the checklist, right?
Mhm.
So I heard that story and I was like, well, I'm still going to write you a checklist.
Well, naturally, because
Oh, just kidding. My wife does not have a checklist, but she does do a lot around the house, right?
yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, because she loves me. But it made me think of like when you're dealing with employees, because
Mhm.
we've had a lot of questions lately about from our, private coaching clients about dealing with employees and how we manage them and how we set expectations of them and how we like deal with putting rules around them and getting them to do these certain things that we want them to
Right.
do.
Mhm.
And I think that story just creates this great analogy
Mhm.
of how you can look at your employees in a different way and get them to check those things off the list, not because they have to, but because they want to.